deep within Google's most powerful supercomputers, something incredible is happening. A digital brain is learning to think, move, and adapt, almost as if it were alive. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie. This is the reality of Google DeepMind's virtual brain. It's an artificial mind, designed from the ground up to control a digital creature, complete with instincts, reflexes, and something that looks a lot like emotions. What began as a bold experiment to simulate a simple rat could soon redefine our entire understanding of intelligence, consciousness, and what it even means to be alive. Understanding the brain has always been one of biology's greatest challenges. Imagine trying to map every single connection in a brain. Even a tiny piece of brain tissue, viewed at the nanometer level, generates an exabyte of data. That's a billion gigabytes. It's a mountain of information so vast that, without the computational power of Google research, this quest would be almost impossible. Now, DeepMind's AI Brain is causing a major stir in the scientific community. Recent breakthroughs are peeling back the layers on the hidden complexities of our own minds. But what exactly is Google DeepMind uncovering about our thoughts, our feelings, and the very essence of being human? Let's dive in and find out. In a landmark collaboration, Google DeepMind and researchers from Harvard University achieved something truly remarkable. They created a fully functional artificial brain for a virtual rat, allowing it to control its body inside an incredibly realistic physics simulation. This groundbreaking work, published in the prestigious journal Nature has thrown open the doors to understanding how brains actually work. This isn't just a simple animation. The artificial brain is designed to mimic the intricate structure and function of a real rat's brain. Inside its digital world, the virtual rat explores, reacts to its surroundings, and learns to perform complex tasks that require coordination and quick decision-making. For the very first time, scientists can study brain behavior in a way that was never possible before. One of the most thrilling parts of this research is how it closes the gap to understanding our own brains. By watching how this artificial mind guides the virtual rat, scientists can decode how billions of neurons fire together to create movement, form memories, and allow for adaptation. This could spark revolutionary discoveries in neuroscience, leading to new treatments for devastating neurological disorders. And the implications don't stop there. The same principles could be applied to robotics, creating machines that move, react, and learn with the same fluid grace as living creatures. Imagine a future where robots are not just programmed, but can learn and adapt on their own. So how did they pull this off? First, the researchers built an incredibly accurate digital model of a rat's body. Using a sophisticated physics simulator called Muja, they made sure their virtual rat obeyed all the same laws of physics as a real animal: gravity, friction, muscle tension, everything. Every tiny movement, from scampering and jumping to turning its head, was meticulously recreated using high-resolution motion capture data from real rats. These painstaking details ensured the model perfectly reflected the complex physical behavior of a living creature. With the body built, it was time for the brain. DeepMind's engineers used a powerful AI technique called deep reinforcement learning. They trained an artificial neural network to act as the rat's central command center. The AI learned to control its digital body, coordinate its limbs, and respond to cues in its environment, not by following pre-written instructions, but by processing massive amounts of motion data. It used a clever method called inverse dynamics modeling, where the AI figured out on its own which muscles and joints to activate to perform a specific action, just like our brains do when we reach for a cup or take a step. Over countless cycles of trial and error, the virtual rat learned to walk, run, and react with astonishing naturalism. It wasn't just executing a program. It was learning how to move. And this is where things got truly mind-blowing. The researchers noticed something completely unexpected. The patterns of neural activity firing inside the virtual brain looked strikingly similar to the brain activity of real rats. The same rhythm, the same firing patterns. It was an incredible moment. It suggested that DeepMind's AI wasn't just mimicking movement. It was independently discovering the same fundamental logic that evolution perfected in living organisms over millions of years. The virtual brain could even switch between different behavioral modes, just like a real one. Its neural patterns would shift as it went from running, to standing still, to grooming itself. None of this was programmed in advance. It all emerged organically as the AI learned. This adaptability, the ability to seamlessly switch behaviors and respond to a changing world is one of the core hallmarks of true intelligence. It proves that AI can now replicate not just the asterisk, what asterisk of behavior, but the fundamental asterisk, how asterisk of a thinking, dynamic system. Even more fascinating, the researchers found that introducing small, random fluctuations in the virtual brain's activity produced realistic variations in the rat's behavior. This revealed how subtle changes in our neural state can shape our actions from moment to moment. For the first time, scientists could watch the direct translation of thought into motion, a process that is almost impossible to study in detail in living animals without invasive procedures. This marks the birth of a whole new field, virtual neuroscience. We are entering a new era where entire brains, bodies, and environments can be simulated and studied together in perfect detail. Instead of being limited by the challenges of real-world experiments, researchers can now explore every single layer of the mind. With this powerful tool, they can test theories about how neural circuits process information, predict outcomes, and adapt to new challenges. They can simulate how a brain learns from its mistakes, how it keeps track of its own body, and how it decides what to do next. Each virtual neuron, each digital impulse, brings us one step closer to cracking the code of intelligence itself. Predictive modeling, decision-making, adaptive control, all of these complex processes are now unfolding within a machine that mirrors life. So the next time you think about AI as just cold lines of code or rigid robotic logic, remember this: somewhere on a server rack inside Google, a virtual brain is moving, learning, and evolving. Not because it was told to, but because, in its own way, it's trying to understand the world it was born into. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep exploring the future with us one thought at a time.